Welcome to episode 11 of Terrorshewrote. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Nicole.
And this is the podcast where we read.
The podcast. There is no... Oh.
No, so I just wanted to try to continue. I had a whole plan, Nicole, and you fucked it up.
Thank you guys for joining us for 11 episodes. We're done. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys. So we have at least 3 stories prepared for y'all.
Maybe.
We'll see. We don't make promises here.
We can't. I personally cannot make promises because I forget them pretty easily.
Honestly, same.
I have very strong emotions right now because of my period. And whatever I say, I totally mean in a strong way that nobody needs to know.
So if you say, like, I hate you, you mean it with everything in you. Just
more aggressive than it needs to be.
I see. Wish me luck, everyone. I shall order you some food, some desserts.
Oh, dude. Stop. I'll come right now.
You know what? I feel like once we're living near each other, we're going to be in sync. And I think every month we'll be in Cheesecake Factory just eating a bunch of cheesecake and chocolate cake.
We'll just record in the Cheesecake Factory. Like, excuse me, ma'am. I'm in the middle of a recording. Please bring all of the cheesecake. Extra chocolate.
Extra chocolate, extra whipped cream, extra fudge.
I want it all.
I do have things to help you with pain. I have a bunch of heat pads, cooling pads, and this massager for your stomach.
I want one of those so bad.
You can borrow all my stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take care of you, baby girl.
Thanks.
But anyway, so you have a story.
Before we get going, last episode, at the end of all of our stories, Brittany's audio gets all weird on my end. It gets all distorted while she says, poor Will. And then I'm like, whoa, that was weird. And then I get a little panicky and silent. And the reason I did that is because there was a chuckle behind me in this house.
Ugh.
Another shout out to Gavin and Cass. I am very sorry about the ghost that I have brought into your home.
Oh, shit.
So sorry. So sorry. I did go and get some stuff to cleanse the area. I did all that. And then the very nice gentleman at the metaphysical shop gifted me incense called Go Away Evil. He told me to light this when we tell stories. So I'm going to light this before I tell a story.
Yeah, I can't wait till when we're actually together recording where we'll have everything that can protect us from whatever we're going to read.
Oh, yeah. The incense has been lit. You know what's crazy, Cass? Because I know you're listening to this. How do you not have any fucking incense holders in this bitch? I have a problem with that.
Just get a cupcake and just stick it on there. Let us begin the transition clock.
This is called Hide and Seek.
Oh no, come on.
Annabeth was sitting on her couch, deep in thought. She had watched her favorite TV show, baked herself some muffins, and ate them up. And now she felt rather bored. Suddenly, as her eyes were sweeping the room, she noticed something unusual. Something that wasn't there before. A note. Laying beside her on the couch, it contained only 4 words. Let's play a game.
No. No.
Well, too bad. I have to read the story.
My bad. Keep going. Ignore me.
Annabeth glanced around the room, suddenly feeling afraid. She lived alone, so where did the note come from? And then she understood. Her longtime boyfriend Luke had a duplicate of her apartment keys. He must have snuck in somehow without her noticing. A smile of relief broke across her face. She got to her knees and peeked under the couch, hoping to catch Luke off guard, but he wasn't there. Annabeth straightened up and once again examined the room thoroughly. She was absolutely sure Luke was hiding somewhere. When her eyes went to the couch again, she saw another note beside the first one. You want to play hide and seek? Do you want to be the seeker?
Stop. No.
Ha ha, very funny, Luke. That's enough. You can come out now, Annabeth called out. No response. Just come out. I'm going to find you anyway. And then she noticed a third note. She picked it up and read it. I guess that's settled then. I'm going to hide, and you're going to try and find me. Good luck. Annabeth rolled her eyes. Fine, if you insist. She began the search. She checked under her bed, inside her wardrobe, took another look under the couch, checked behind the shower curtain, even took a look inside the washing machine and the dishwasher. No sign of Luke. She was completely baffled. And then, when she was about to give up, she remembered that there was one place she forgot to check. It was the closet in her bathroom. It was small, and Annabeth doubted that Luke would fit in there, but it seemed to be the last hiding place in the house left unchecked. She approached the closet and opened it. This bitch checked the washing machine and the dishwasher, but suddenly, the closet and the bathroom.
I'm like, something's not connecting here. Something just doesn't feel right.
How on earth? Like, even if it's like one of the fancy...
I can see like a kid hiding in the fancy washer, but the dishwasher? How the fuck are you going to fit in that? Do you remove everything and then just scoot your ass in there? First of all, nasty.
But remember, these are adults. So he's an adult man.
Honestly, I forgot that these were adults that are playing hide and seek.
Yeah, these are adults.
Okay, now this doesn't make sense anymore. Washer and a dishwasher.
And then suddenly the bedroom closet.
Ugh.
Exactly.
You know what? It's a good story. Good story. Not judging it at all. Not confused at all.
She approached the closet and opened it. She gasped and took a step backwards. There definitely was someone inside the closet. But it wasn't Luke. It was a girl, no older than 10, her back turned to Annabeth. "You found me," she said, addressing Annabeth, who was too shocked to respond. And now, she continued, her voice turning into a menacing, almost hungry whisper. "It's your turn to hide." And then she turned around. Annabeth screamed. The girl's eyes were two black voids with tiny red dots for pupils. Her grin was unnaturally wide, and her right hand, the one that wasn't clutching the teddy bear, was holding a big, long dick.
This is a kid holding the knife.
All I can imagine, she's got the silicone ones that are
just wobbly, where you can just stick to the wall. Real question is it pink and sparkly?
Suddenly, the lights in Annabeth's entire apartment went out. She reached for the light switch, but no matter how much she clicked it, the room remained dark. Meanwhile, the thing in the closet began counting. 1, 2, 3.
Ew!
Annabeth sprinted down the hall to the apartment door and tried to unlock it, but to no avail. The door remained locked and shut no matter what she did. 6, 7, 8. Annabeth jumped into the wardrobe, closed the door, and concealed herself behind the clothes. She dared not even breathe. She had a feeling that if the monstrous girl found her, something very bad will happen. She heard light footsteps treading down the hallway. She closed her eyes. Something yanked the door of the wardrobe open and began throwing out the clothes. "Found you," the girl's voice cooed. Annabeth's final scream was drowned out by the girl's laughter. She did!
If it was you, I would just be kicking her ass inside the closet. Hide and seek is honestly terrifying when you think about it.
Right.
Don't fucking touch me when you're just don't. That's why I would give up midway of running. I'm like, nope, just tag me. I'd rather chase.
Have you seen that movie where these friends have this long game of tag? I think it's called Tag.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I remember that coming out and wanting to watch it, but forgot. I have a story from a friend. Same person that gave us the story of the Gothic home from Ava.
My Southern Gothic haunted home.
She gave herself a new name for fun, and she's now Lydia in this one.
Lydia. Ooh, you're so posh, Ava Lydia.
Ava Lydia, and then the next story, a different name.
Gutrid.
And we'll just keep going with it. She said there was a title, but I did not write it down, so I'm so sorry, Lydia. Are you ready?
Yes.
When I was 12, I moved to a new home with my parents. It was a rental, so it was temporary. We were thinking we would stay a year or so before finding something more permanent. The house was fairly new. It had a little front yard and a huge backyard. I remember looking and seeing this gigantic dark gray barn in the backyard. Its enormous front stared directly into what became my room. Oh no, already.
Jesus Christ.
I remember thinking the two large windows and door of the barn looked like a face. There was an unsettling feeling as it creaked. The window unlatched and flew open. My family was told the barn was protected by a historical society and has been on the property since the 1800s. Did you hear that?
I think it was me.
No, I heard Tim, because Tim's so loud while he records, so.
He's just having too much fun.
He's having a blast.
Tell him to shut the fuck up.
And the thing is, you're being honest about it.
I forgot about that.
Wait till he hears this episode.
I totally forgot that everything is honest today.
I settled in. Nothing appeared out of the ordinary at first. The only thing I noticed is my side of the house was extremely cold.
God damn it, Lydia.
The temperature was lower on my side than where my parents' room was. This was a little strange, but nothing too bad. I also hated the giant window in my room where the barn would stare at me. I kept the curtains closed at all times. Occasionally, I would hear the creaks of the barn as the wind howled through it. I decided to walk through the barn one day and explore. It was 2 stories high. There was still hay in the upper loft. There was also old equipment inside and strangely some chains. I had the distinct feeling something bad happened here. Something naughty. Nope, that wasn't part of it. I just wanted
naughty,
that.
naughty.
That wasn't part of it. Naughty,
Okay, Lydia.
naughty. A chill went through me and I shuddered. I walked back out quickly. It was around this time things started to go missing. Change would show up in random places, nickels, quarters, and dimes. I mean, handfuls of it would randomly be around the house. Keys also went missing even though they were always on the counter. We couldn't find the post office key for the longest time. Little things would go missing around the house. The creepiest thing of all, definitely the piano. I was taking lessons and my parents had bought me an electric keyboard. I would periodically sit in the dining room and play it, practicing. One day my mother heard the piano playing and asked me to stop playing. She told me I needed to finish my chores. "Lydia, come over here," she called for me. She kept hearing the notes playing on the piano, so she marched over the dining room intending to give me an earful and saw no one was there. The bench was empty and the piano was unplugged.
No.
I have goosebumps.
God damn it. Wait, so this is a different house, right?
Yeah, a different house.
This bitch. Okay.
She saw the keys stop playing in front of her and her eyes bugged out.
Bro, I'd bug out too. What the fuck?
And I'm like, nope, I will throw the
can feel
keyboard
the
out.
evil.
Just keep spraying.
Just need a little spritzy spritz.
Oh, how could it be playing? Or even on for that matter. She ran and called for my father, then she went to my bedroom. I had my headphones on and hadn't heard a thing. "Lydia, the piano was playing. You weren't playing just now?" "No, I've been in here listening to music." My mother had a haunted expression on her face. We both knew something wasn't right. After that, we would hear the piano playing sometimes. A ghostly tune, I suppose. After a year, we moved to a different home just as we planned. All was well and I was happy we were moving somewhere with less activity. Sometimes I wonder if that barn is still there and if the new family moving in brought a piano. They'll probably hear a song. And this is why you guys don't play piano. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Don't be so musically inclined. It's stupid.
Now, what did we learn? Don't play piano.
I had an electric keyboard once before.
I have one in the room next door.
So why? I don't know if Lydia told you anything. What is your fucking lesson?
No. To not play piano near a barn. Our future house is probably going to be a fucking barn. It literally is like a barn.
I feel like every place that Lydia has moved to has just been haunted.
The stories she's shared with me for years, they're very haunting. And I don't know if they were all in different houses. But the claw one, I don't know if you remember me telling you about that claw in the photo. That one was in the house in California. I think she is just very spiritual. She had like her third eye, like what we said last time, is wide open. So she's sensitive to a lot of things.
Fucking Lydia.
Can't relate.
I can kind of relate.
Your eye is like squinting, not wanting to see, but it has no choice.
So what do we do next? What's next?
Do you want me to read the next one?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that.
And then we'll end it with scary story then.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on straight to this one. This one is called
Your mom.
Driftwood Bones.
Sorry.
You know what? Take a walk and come back with a better attitude.
Okay. Hit me.
Never.
It's not kinky enough for me.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll just spank you.
Yeah, spank me. Remember, it's honesty time.
Oh, so she's being honest, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's go. Driftwood Bones. Gary Nettle's great-grandfather was one of the island's original settlers. He built the cottage himself for his wife and young son. A fresh start. Far from the corruption and noise of the mainland. At first, everything was perfect. The island was beautiful, even back then. The town was barely more than the rickety old bait shop and the pub, the Gutted Cod, new and inviting in its infancy. Old man Nettle was proud. Proud of the home he'd built, the life he'd carved out, the tiny town he helped create. So proud, in fact, that he didn't notice the troubling changes in his wife. It started innocently enough. His wife began complaining that she couldn't sleep. The sound of the ocean, the very sound she used to love, had become unbearable. So he bought her cotton wool to stuff it in her ears, thinking that would be the end of it. But then came the night terrors. She would wake him shrieking and sobbing, inconsolable, babbling about the children of the deep sea, the children who wouldn't drown. Still, nightmares are only nightmares. So they went on with their lives. How can you continue your life like that? Sure, why not?
I mean, I did it for 3 months, so.
Yeah. But his wife barely slept anymore. The toll it took on her mind was plain to see, at least to everyone but Nettle. A few of the village women tried to intervene. They told him how his wife was often seen alone near the shoreline, staring out to sea, muttering to herself. They told him how the boy was being neglected, left to wander to get into trouble, how the darkness in that home was beginning to spill outward like seawater under a door. But Nettle wouldn't hear it. Not from the village wives, not from anyone. Hadn't he come to this island to get away from busy bodies like this? His wife was perfect. His son was perfect. Everything was fine. Okay.
Just staying in denial like that.
Like, fuck you, Nettle.
Fuck you, Nettle.
It wasn't until he walked in on her, hands pressed down on their son's small chest, holding him under the bathtub, that he realized how wrong he'd been.
No.
Bro. She didn't even flinch as he tore her arms away. Didn't blink when he screamed over and over, "What the hell are you doing?" Just stared blankly, eyes wide and unseeing, while he clutched their coughing, gasping child to his chest. Then after a moment, just a moment, her gaze snapped back into focus. She looked straight at him and she smiled. A wide, unnatural smile. "The children want to play," she said.
Bro.
This is like Lynn's sister.
Yeah, it is. Dang, that's crazy.
It's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah.
Those final words from his wife, and that smile made his skin crawl in a way he had never known. It was a feeling beyond fear, like he was prey, caught in a trap, waiting for the blade to fall. Ooh, snaps to that. He didn't wait to see what she'd do next. He grabbed his son and ran, barefoot, soaking wet, sprinting down the dirt path like the devil himself was chasing them. He didn't stop until he saw them, the twin pinpricks of warm yellow light in the distance, the gutted cod. They flickered like a siren song through the trees, offering safety or at least a place to breathe. If only he could reach them. He burst through the doors of the gutted cod like a storm, wet, wide-eyed, clutched his son to his chest. More than a few regulars jumped at the commotion, chairs scraping, drinks sloshing. The owner, known to all simply as Big Jeff, scrambled to his feet from the fireside where he'd been dozing. Jeff might have been half drunk on his own stout, but he had been behind the bar long enough to know trouble when it came knocking. And thankfully, Jeff also knew a bit of first aid, considering there hadn't been a doctor on the island in years. He checked the boy over, scraped, but otherwise whole. The child sat quietly afterward, sipping hot cocoa by the hearth, his eyes bright with a strange wonder only children can feel after something truly terrible. To him, it was all an adventure. I wouldn't call it an adventure.
Your mom just tried to kill you. What the fuck?
That was a wild journey.
God damn. Okay.
Nettle told Jeff everything. He didn't have to say, "Don't call the authorities." Jeff understood. On Wither Shore, a man's family is his own business. Okay.
Oh,
Men.
This must be like a really old, like 20s, 30s.
But Jeff did insist they spend the night at the cod. Crimes of passion don't happen so much after a good night's rest, he said. And if anyone had cause for one, it was Nettle. So they stayed. Then the next morning, when father and son returned to the cottage, it was as if the night's terror had been scrubbled.
Wow. Scrubbled.
It
is difficult.
It is. The next morning, when father and son returned to the cottage, it was as if the night's terror had been scrubbed away by the dawn. The bathtub was empty, the floor beside it once soaked in chaos, now bone dry. And his wife was gone. He thought it was probably for the best. No doubt she was laying low for a while, ruminating in her distress, afraid of the consequences she would have to face at the hands of her husband. Afraid to face her son after what she had tried to do to him. She would keep for now. Nettle himself wasn't sure how he would address the situation. He was not a man known for forgiveness. Damn, does he beat his wife?
Yeah, probably.
Fuck.
Like I beat my wife.
Fuck. Nicole.
She likes it. It's fine.
No. No. Oh, no.
I'm just kidding. My husband beats me.
Mm-hmm. You see, if I was editing this, I would keep that shit.
Oh, I'm totally keeping it. Don't worry. Honesty time.
Honesty time.
Oh my God. That's perfect.
Honesty time with Nicole. Her husband beats her.
Nicole doesn't lie this episode. That should be the title.
It is. Type it now while I read. Well, it would come when it would come, as his father liked to say. Except it didn't. At least not right away. A week passed with no sign of his wife. Then 2. And then, finally, after a whole month had slipped by, Nettle could no longer avoid the inevitable. He reported her disappearance to the authorities. He was a suspect at first, of course he was. By then, word of what his wife had done had spread through the village like smoke. Most of the locals quietly agreed that he had probably killed her, and while tragic, it was in their minds entirely understandable. But the police could find no evidence that a crime had even taken place. With Nettle's name cleared, the police began questioning the locals, but unsurprisingly, nobody could tell them anything. And so, with no other leads and without hope, they turned their eyes to the shore and began to search with all their resources they possessed. The police were limited in what they could do, especially back then. No forensic team, no crime scene tape, just a couple of unpaid constables and a strong sense of island discretion. They took a few statements, poked around the cottage, and left with more questions than answers. This guy reminded me of Midnight Mass.
Yeah, it does have that vibe.
It's a vampire. She's a vampire. In the end, they chalked it up to a domestic tragedy and let it lie. If she had drowned, which was seeming likely, her body had surely been swept away by the tide. But time, like the tide, is ever flowing, and as it passed, a fragile sense of normalcy returned to the little family, at least on the surface. Nettle went back to work. His son returned to his usual mischief, and the villagers eventually found someone else to gossip about. But then came the night. It started with the voices on the waves. Like his wife, he had always loved the sound of the ocean. It soothed him like a loved one singing a lullaby by firelight on a stormy night. By now the song had turned predatory, almost mocking. You couldn't save her, it seemed to whisper, and you can't save him. What do you mean? The thought gnawed at the back of his mind each night, just before sleep dragged him into feverish dreams. Was this what she heard before she disappeared? He tried to ignore it, blamed it on stress, grief, lack of sleep, until the morning his son woke screaming, and he could ignore it no more. Nettle ran into the tiny bedroom to find his son standing on his bed, pressed against the headboard with trembling finger. He pointed towards the door and his small shaking voice sobbed. She was here. She was dripping and she said she wanted to take me to meet the other children. But I didn't want to go. And with that, the boy was overcome with tears. Terror flooded Nettle's heart as his eyes dropped to the floor. There, clearly by the door, was a puddle of water. And from that puddle stretched a line of wet footprints, leading straight towards his child's bed. He didn't ask questions, didn't even pack a bag. He scooped up his son and ran. He didn't stop until he reached the ferry, breathless. And he never looked back. Not once at the little house he had built from the bones of the sea.
Oy.
Damn. First of all, fuck you, Nettle.
Yeah.
This all could have been avoided if you just helped your wife in the beginning. But no, you're like, but I like it here. I don't care if my wife is suffering. I really like this place. Like, fuck you, bro.
Right. I wonder if this is a real story.
How long ago was this, though?
So I think this is in Europe. I think this is based in Europe. Because I can't imagine an American naming their pub a gutted cod. You know what I mean?
Sounds Irish.
It does sound Irish. Widdershore. Let's look it up.
See if it's real.
Maybe it's not.
We'll just say it is. It's a true story.
Yeah. It's either that or nope, don't know. I feel like it's a real story, but the places are fake.
Yeah.
That would make sense to me.
Oh, well. That one was really creepy. And honestly, I feel so sad for the wife. Like you can tell she was not a terrible woman. Whatever was haunting her possessed her and made her harm her own son.
Right.
Who she really loved. And from what it seems like, the husband was very abusive.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care about my wife. This place is nice. I like this pub.
This one's a little bit long, but...
Is this from the scary stories? All right.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Let's get it. Get it.
Okay. This is called The Haunted House. One time, a preacher went to see if he could put a haunt to rest at a house in his settlement. The house had been haunted for about 10 years. Several people had tried to stay there all night, but they always would get scared out by the haunt. So this preacher took his Bible and went to the house, went on in, built himself a good fire, and lit a lamp. Sat there reading the Bible. Then, just before midnight, he heard something start up in the cellar, walking back and forth, back and forth. Then it sounded like somebody was trying to scream and got choked off. Then, there was a lot of thrashing around and struggling. And finally, everything got quiet. The old preacher took up his Bible again, but before he could start reading, he heard footsteps coming up the cellar stairs. He sat watching the door to the cellar, and the footsteps kept coming closer and closer. He saw the doorknob turn, and when the door began to open, he jumped up and hollered, "What do you want?" The door shut back easy-like, and there wasn't a sound. Preacher was trembling a little, but he finally opened the Bible and read a while. Then he got up and laid the book on the chair and went to mending the fire. Then the haunt started walking again, and step, step, step up the cellar stairs. The old preacher sat watching the door, saw the doorknob turn, and the door opened. It looked like a young woman. He backed up and said, "Who are you? What do you want?" Oh, Jesus fuck.
Ew. No, you gotta post that. You gotta post the fuck. Oh.
That scared the shit out of me just now. I knew it was going to be there, and I still got scared.
Keep spraying.
Yeah.
Keep spraying.
Yeah. Spray the book. The haunt sort of swayed like she didn't know what to do. Then she just faded out. The old preacher waited, and when he didn't hear any more noises, he went over and shut the door. He was sweating and trembling all over, but he was a brave man, and he thought he'd be able to see it through. So he turned his chair to where he could watch, and he sat down and waited. It wasn't long before he heard the haunt start up again, slowly. Step, step, step. Closer and closer. Step, step. And it was right at the door.
Mm-mm.
The preacher stood up and held his Bible out before him. Then the knob slowly turned, and the door opened wide. This time, the preacher spoke quiet-like. He said, "In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, who are you and what do you want?" The haunt came right across the room, straight to him, and took hold of his coat. It was a young woman about 20 years old. Her hair was torn and tangled, and the flesh was dropping off her face so he could see the bones and part of her teeth.
Oh.
She had no eyeballs, but there was a sort of blue light way back in her eye sockets, and she had no nose to her face. Then she started talking. It sounded like her voice was coming and going with the wind blowing it. She told how her lover had killed her for her money and buried her in the cellar. She said if the preacher would dig up her bones and bury her properly, she could rest. Then she told him to take the end joint of the little finger from her left hand.
She's like, pull my finger.
Yeah, I know. And to lay it in the collection plate at the next church meeting. And he'd find out who had murdered her. And she said, "If you come back here once more after that, you'll hear my voice at midnight, and I'll tell you where my money is hid, and you can give it to the church." The haunt sobbed like she was tired, and she sunk down toward the floor and was gone again. The preacher found her bones and buried them in the graveyard. The next Sunday, the preacher put the finger bone in the collection plate, and when a certain man happened to touch it, it stuck to his hand. The man jumped up and rubbed and scraped and tore at the bone, trying to get it off.
Oh.
Then he went to screaming like he was going crazy. Well, he confessed to the murder, and they took him on to jail. After the man was hung, the preacher went back to the house one midnight, and the haunt's voice told him to dig under the heath rock. He did, and he found a big sack of money, and where that haunt had held on to his coat, the print of those bony fingers was burned right into the cloth and never did come out. The end.
Yo, you see, this is why always believe a ghost when they tell you, look in this area.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's always treasure.
Right.
Wherever a ghost is, there's treasure.
Abajo.
Abajo. I'm glad you remembered that. Well, that was creepy. Her face specifically was fucking creepy.
Yeah.
But justice.
Right.
Justice.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Well, that was a good couple of stories today. Very chill. Very creepy.
Yeah, and I still have incense left. Cassidy texted me, and she said, gotta find Cassidy. I sent her the picture that I sent you.
Yep.
And I was like, because you don't have an incense holder like a heathen. And she said, on my wooden shelf in the bedroom, bitch.
We can have her on this podcast as a guest.
We should. Yeah, totally.
Maybe she'll have a story she wants to read to us.
Oh, she does. Oh, shit, she does. I forgot. Ah, dang. She sent me a story. Well, she sent me a voice note about it, and it's about her sleep talking.
Ooh, okay. Save that for next episode for sure.
I will. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well,
that was fun.
That was super fun.
Thanks for being honest today, Nicole.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I can't wait to keep eating food today.
You deserve it.
Yeah, I actually have to clean a lot, so I have a lot of cleaning.
Same. I have a guest coming tomorrow night, so I gotta clean.
Yeah, Cass and Gavin come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a huge mess that I've made.
You're messy.
I'm fucking messy, bro. It's bad.
It literally looks like you're just smoking weed over there. Even the way you're talking to him. I'm fucking so messy. I'm just being honest. I'm just fucking messy. All right.
Thank you for listening.
Hope you guys enjoyed.
Please go follow, share, and leave a review.
Also, if you have your own paranormal experience, send us an email and we will feature you on the next episodes. The email is terrorshewrote@gmail.com.
We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts for your listening pleasure.
You can also find us on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at terror.shewrote.
Yeah, and Brittany's real good at these YouTube shorts, so you should fucking check them out.
Yeah.
Leave some comments, bro.
Yeah, fucking like them.
Yeah, because we're super funny, I think.
We're fucking hilarious.
Oh, there's polls on these Spotify things, so if you're listening on Spotify, get on these polls because they're good.
They're so good.
They're so good.
and we're being honest here, so it's fucking good. So you better fucking like them.
This is honesty time, guys.
If I see a dislike, I will go to your house and dislike your face and then leave. Because I'm respectful.
You knock on the door all polite. And then your face is right next to their face. And you're like, I dislike it. And then fucking leave.
Respectfully.
You get a fucking sticker. It's a thumbs up sticker. And you put it upside down on their forehead. Dislike.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
All right, guys. We love ya.
Love you. Bye.
Platonically. Bye.
I think I love you a little bit more than platonically.
You know what? I'm glad I didn't stop recording, because no.
Oh, I forgot about that part. Yep. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Love you guys. See you later.
Welcome to episode... Wow.
You fucked up. We have to quit.
I fucked. This is so embarrassing.
You're fucking embarrassing.
I fucking quit. I don't deserve this. You know what? You make me want to munch. I'll be back.
Okay, bye. Hello. This is Nicole's podcast, where she just eats food into the mic while Brittany is gone. Oh, Brittany's back. All right. What is she eating? Drizzlicious?
You know what? We're not even going to tell scary stories. Let's just eat. Hear this. ASMR time. Look at that cat behind you.
Yeah, this is Kiki. She's a slut.
Hi, Kiki. We're all sluts here. Welcome. Did you hear that?
I think it was me.
No, I heard Tim, because Tim's so loud while he records, so.
He's just having too much fun.
He's having a blast.
You can tell him to shut the fuck up.
And the thing is, you're being honest about it.
My shorts are in my cooch.
Oh, let me see.
Which is uncomfortable, because my cooch is...
Let me help.
Okay.
I'll fix it for you.
Yay. You're so sweet. Why are you anxious? Everything okay?
It's the Libra in me.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I'll bullshit with you, but once, if you show me an ounce of sadness, I'm like, what's wrong? Talk to me. Is everything okay? It was as if the night's terror had been scrabbled.
Wow. Scrabbled.
It
is difficult.
It is. Bum, bow, bum, 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 bow.